Ewan?
Yes.
I put a lot of coffee with this machine by using the My Recipe mode. So today you are come here, and could you please teach me more about the barista mode?
Oh, yes, yes. You said correct. I forget to teach you the last function of the machine. Okay, the barista mode is a little bit different to the other function because you must presetting only the brew ratio and the water temperature. And then the other parameter about the brew, you can in real time select during the brew, and based on your feeling to what's happened in the carafe and the powder, you can adjust to have the correct coffee for your request. Okay. Later, step by step, I show you the meaning of what I said now. So we can go ahead to the usually process.
Okay. The water is hot. I just brew a cup of tea for me.
Okay. So, so I teach you one tips that before I never show. In this case, if you already have the water hot, we can pre-wet the filter paper.
Yeah.
Okay. We put down the water outlet and we use the kettle mode, and then we use the empty water. Okay, and we left some water brew to wet very well the paper. Okay, a few seconds is okay. Yeah, then back to the home page. I threw this water. You can start to select the function about barista mode.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So I press the pour coffee and
Yes.
then barista mode.
Yes.
So we don't need to preheat the water right now.
No, you skip because
Okay.
the water is already
So I
hot.
press no.
Okay.
We use beans today.
Okay, which bean you want to use?
I use this bean. Is a Kenya bean. I just bought it yesterday.
Okay, okay. So we use bean like usually, so you already know how to do.
We use the building scale.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
the usually. So we go ahead.
So
okay.
I turn over the lid.
Yeah.
Put it on the scale. and
Yes.
then confirm.
Yeah, yeah. Terry,
Yes.
okay. 20 gram is okay. We are in 300
no problem.
ml. Yes. I tell you when it's okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you can.
So confirm.
Yes, confirm.
So what size we need to set of about the green setting?
Usually when I use barista mode, I'm not so fixed in the grinding. Later I show you why. So I think that with this kind of bean, you can put around 27, 28.
So I set it 27.
Yes, okay, okay. Later I show
Okay,
you what's
I
happened.
said.
Yes, go ahead
Confirm.
to the very function.
10,
Okay.
27.
Yeah. Setting
Confirm.
all.
And then I need to put the
bean.
beans inside.
Yes.
The upper.
I put the carafe under the grinder. So it's ready.
Confirm.
Yes. Okay.
Then
Start.
start.
Okay. So the grinder have finished. I touch and we pass to make coffee. And now we need to fix the two parameters that I tell you before. So the brew ratio and the temperature. The brew ratio, we keep the standard 115. Okay, so 20 gram of powder, we have 300 ml of water. So you remember this. The temperature, I want to put a little more high because this coffee is a little roast a little more. So I want to use 95. I confirm, then confirm again. Okay, usually, the usually step, move the carafe. Yes, I just move a little so the coffee is very flat. Okay, confirm, and then confirm and start. Okay, the machine finish the last second to correctly the temperature that we want. Yeah, if you want to take like a parameter, you can remember that more is dark the bin, more height the temperature. Okay.
So we are waiting for the water to boil.
Yes.
And then if you automatically to blue, or we have to change something about the parameters?
No, any case is in also we work in beginner mode, so the machine don't doing anything without your confirmation, any case. Also is barista mode, but need to give some input to the machine to start and which way brew. So based on this, any case, you need to use your hand. Okay? The difference is this, that actually we are ready for brew. So you have some different selection to do in real time. So the first one is the cursor about the brew speed that you can change, increase or reduce. And then you have the force selection for the rotation of the water outlet. Okay? And then you manually start and stop or eventually finish the brew. Okay? In this case, what's happened? We start the brew, and then in the moment we stop, start the pause time. The machine start to calculate it, the blooming time. When you start again the brew, this one become the first process in the finally totally timing of the brew. Okay? Also in here you can saw the timing that increase for the totally brew, and then the water that you use. So the total amount in this case is 300 ml. Every time you start, increase the number. When you stop, stop in the moment you already arrive. When you start the second process, increase to continuous from the quantity of water you already brew. Okay? So just you need to remember that the final quantity in this case is 300 ml. Okay? So I touch, I left in this case 4 ml, I put fasted, and then I start to brew. Here you check how many water, okay? For example, I want to arrive to 70 ml. So I wait, arrive to 70, and then manually I stop. Okay? And then, in this case, here you have the pause time. So you check how long you want to put. You can take under control the blooming. And then, in this way, why I say to you, don't take care too much fine the grinding? Because you check the water how can down, and then based on this you can adapt the next step if need the same water, the same speed, or more fast, more slower. Okay, it's around 30 seconds. Okay, so we can go ahead and start with the second process. And the machine already memorized this. Now I want to brew 60 ml. Okay, so I have the totally. Okay, we arrive this. Pause. Again, have the pause time. We already brew 140. Okay, so we remain to brew 160 ml. We can choose in how many process we want to brew this. Okay, in this case, I want to add a little the water speed, and then also I put medium in the rotation, and then I start. I left brew 100 ml. So we stop when we arrive to 240. Okay? So you check here. Okay? Pause. Now we have many water in here, and then we give a little more long pause time. Okay? Also, I want to show to you one thing. In here, if you want, you can mix a little. In this way, the powder become little flat and the filter is completely clean. So you use all the amount of powder, okay? We left brew again 30 seconds and then start continuous and left the machine to arrive to the finally 300 ml.
So actually in this mode, we can instantly change the brew speed and also the rotation speed of the water spout.
Yes, exactly. Okay, the machine finished, so is exactly the same than before. The beep advise you the process is finished and keep in the memory of the machine that we brew in 4 different processes. Okay?
Yes.
So now we can try this coffee. If the coffee satisfies your idea, later we can save it also in this function, save the machine, name it and save. So first of all, we try the flavor. Okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have the cup.
Yes.
I take 1 cup more to put the filter. Okay. You see the filter is very clean because with a mixer become a very flat the coffee bed.
Yes, very flat.
It's very flat and we use all the coffee. Okay. This coffee is a little different than before because also is a natural process, but is little dark, the roasting. So the flavor is maybe less fruity, a little more
you.
bitter.
Okay.
Like a
Enjoy the
chocolate.
coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
The coffee tastes very, very good.
You like?
Yes.
So you're thinking that this brew is okay?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good. I think so.
I got one more question. If I want to save this recipe for my future use, how can I?
The save function is exactly the same to my recipe. So now the brew is finished. The machine in the display asks you if you want to name it your coffee. So just like before, touch, and then you write your name.
Okay. I will put the name.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Confirm.
Then confirm.
Yeah, in this case I suggest to you here where there are the symbol of the bean to write some indication because maybe now you start to have many different bean. So you remember also not only the parameter but which bean you use. So in here you can write, for example, in this case Kenya AA.
Okay. I will input the beans information here.
Yes.
So Kenya.
Double A.
Okay.
Okay. Then switch, save, exit. If now we go to check in my recipe and save the recipe, you can saw in the list have the new recipe saved. Yeah.
Yes.
If you touch the tail, you also find near the bean symbol the name of the coffee.
Yes, I got it. Okay.
So it's very good.
Yes. So the whole process for barista mode is not so difficult.
It's very easy. Just you need to keep control on the brew process because from the beginning to the end you need to set the parameter time by time.
Okay. Okay. In the future, I will try the barista mode more times.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.